I've been doing animation, illustration and 3D modeling for almost 12 years now. I started with regular small personal Wacom Graphire tablet way back in my college days and gradually worked my way up to a larger 12-inch Intuos, which I used religiously for almost 6 years. About 2 years ago I happened upon a 12WX Cintiq for about half the regular retail price, around $600. I snatched it up thinking it was a great deal, and as I was already used to working on a 12-inch Intuos, figured that at the very least being able to draw directly on the screen would enhance my productivity. It did not. It came down to screen size. Most of the software I use, ZBrush, Photoshop, Maya, all have extensive menus and shortcuts, and the 12WX's screen space is just enough to do any serious work. After struggling with it for a few months, Skybox IDC shelved it, and went back to my trusty Intuos. Fast forward to 2012 San Diego Comic-Con, where I stumbled upon Wacom's booth. They were demoing their newest products, the 22HD and the 22HD/24HD touch tablets. I excitedly jumped on the biggest and baddest with touch support. After about 15 minutes of clawing around the buggy touch interface, which the Wacom dude had to reset 3 times, I moved over the 22HD and wow, heaven. I must have sat there for at least 45 minutes, just playing. I sat there so long they ended up putting my stuff on their overhead screen for congotters to see while I was drawing. I guess some thought I was some popular artist worth knowing. I'm not, at least I don't think so, as they started to take pictures of me and the scribbles I was making on the screen. It was Batmank for those curious minds out there. I was sold. As soon as Amazon orders went live with their free Prime shipping, I ordered one. I've been using it since then daily and absolutely love it. I have difficulty expressing how much it's changed my digital work life. So pros and cons. Pros: it's a very nice big screen. I love the widescreen aspect as it allows more space on the sides for menus, though that may be a personal choice for some as it does shrink the workable, portrait style space a little. Bright screen with 0 pixel flaws. Sturdy build on the bezel for moving around whenever as you need. Wiring system is still a little overload, but improved and streamlined through a single port on the back, which helps manage wires quite a bit. It works flawlessly with all my pro software. Game changer. In case you can't tell, I love it. The only negative I'm finding is that when I use friends' computers for work, I have a habit of touching their screens, which they hadn't, understandably. Speaking of games, I play PC games on it all the time, most recently Bioshock Infinite cranked on high, and it looked great. No streaking or screen tearing etc. The base is cool, and give you a lot of really nice adjustment options, but for my setup I found myself working around the stand instead of it working for me. Depending on your desk and space. I'd recommend you get Energo Arm for it, which I ordered off Amazon as well for about $100. That made all the difference, and took working around out of the equation, as you can easily put the screen exactly wherever it's most comfortable for you. The buttons work well and there's a lot of them, 18, which is nice, but I tend to work in a dark studio space and find fumbling around for them to be a little bit of a hassle. I wish they had LEDs or something more tactile on them to make them easier to see in the dark or find without taking your eyes off the screen. Once again I found a solution, and bought Razer's Nostromo Keepit. Its keys have LEDs in them, are all programmable/assignable to multiple sets, and it sits easily on your desk or in your lap to toggle keys as you draw/paint/sculpt. It felt much more natural for how I work than reaching for my keyboard or holding the edge of the screen to access the Cintiq's buttons. The screen does have some sparkle. The anti-glare, or scratch coating, is pretty noticeable when you first fire it up, but unlike Sonic it didn't bother me then, and I hardly even notice it now. But it's there, so it's worth a mention. This is more a disclaimer, as I've read some saying it's tough to color correct the screen. I come from a video background and generally run a few monitors at Musicc, not only to have more screens to spread out my work's PASIC, but to compare my end product between them to get an average that looks good on all the screens. Colors and gamut can look very diverse on different monitors and screens. I know it's not the slickest way to work, but that method is done well by me this long. In short, I don't know if the Cintiq 22HD has trouble color correcting. All I can say is that I've experienced no issues with it myself, even without the extras I mentioned, Ergo Arm and Nostromo Keepit. See, the Cintiq 22HD is fantastic tool right out of the box. If you can't get together the scratch, get the largest Wacom Intuos you can, as it's an amazingly efficient incomparably. inexpensive tool that will do 99% of what you need, and do it very well. I still have mine for portability and backup, but if you're really serious about digital art and do it, or plan to do it, for a living, I couldn't recommend the 22HD higher whatever you dock. Don't skimp and get the smaller 12WX Cintiq. You'll hate yourself later. It's money better spent or saved elsewhere, trust me. And as sexy as they seem, I wouldn't bother with the more expensive touch models, unless you just have to have the touch function and extra few inches of screen space. $. On Amazon Cintiq I have nothing but praise. At time of release Wacom's own stock, also free shipping from them, was on back order. I placed my order a few days after they were available with no tax and free shipping. 3 days later I was unwrapping the beast in my living room. Great job. It isn't often I bother writing product reviews, particularly this long after I've bought it. But this is hands down the best profession-related purchase I've ever made. So worth the money as it's immeasurably changed how efficiently I work. It's a thing of beauty and I think you'll love it. (04843)
Bluetooth headphones, August EP640, wireless over-ear headphones with aptX/NFC/3.5mm audio in/headset microphone, red.
Bluetooth headphones, cotton cold wireless sports stereo in-ear noise cancelling suite proof headset for iPhone 7/7 Plus, iPhone 6, Samsung Galaxy S7 and Android phones.